You know, everybody knows Rabbi Yitzchak Berditchev, the Holy of Holiest. One of his Chassidim came to him and says, Rebbe, I have to go to Lublin, I need a passport. I hate to go to the police because for a Jew it's so good if the police doesn't even know his name. The Holy Berditchev says, no problem. Walked into his room, came out with a blank piece of paper and he says to him, here's your passport. But no, my beautiful friends, you got to be a big chassid to come to the border, pull out a blank piece of paper. When the officer saw the blank piece of paper, began saluting him, and he says, I never met a great person like you. Let me have the privilege of giving you a carriage with 8 horses to facilitate you going to Lublin. Now, this poor Yiddish had never seen a carriage in his whole life. Anyway, he was treated like the Tsar of Russia. He came back, he lived forever. I heard the story in Vienna. The Yid says to me, you know, I'm the only one who knows the story. Let me give it over to you. 1935. My uncle, a Munkatcher Passport, with a long beard and payas, he had to go to Germany. He had a passport, but that kind of passport doesn't guarantee he's coming back. He walked into the Munkatcher Rabbi, and he says, Rabbi, give me a Munkatcher passport. The Munkatcher says to him, what makes you think I can give you such a passport? He says, Rabbi, I know, I'm begging you, I'm crying before you. I have a wife and 7 children, please. Save my life, Rabbi. The Munkatcher Rabbi went to his room, came out 3 hours later. And you know, friends, to give a passport from Berditchev to Lublin, it's one thing. 1935, Munkatch to Germany. The Rebbe came out. His eyes were wet with tears. They gave him a blank piece of paper, but the paper was soaking wet. Tears of 2,000 years exile. My uncle came to the border. The Nazi says, where's your passport? My uncle pulled out a blank piece of paper. The Nazi began saluting him. He says, I don't think Germany ever had the honor of a great person like you visiting us. Let me have the privilege of giving you a letter to the police all over Germany to protect you. My uncle was a week in Germany. The Nazis drove him around all over, paid for his hotel. He came back. You know, my beautiful friends, the Munkatcher Rebbe told him, swear to me, as long as I live, you will never tell anybody about the passport. My uncle came back, didn't tell anybody. The Holy Munkatcher passed away in 1936. And before he passed away, he says, I see a darkness coming upon the world. I don't want to be there. 1939, a few days before the Second World War, my uncle got so sick, and he knew his hours are numbered. He called his family. I was 7 years old. I was also called. And this is what he says. I want you to know I have a Munkatcher passport. Told her the whole story, and this is what he said. This is my last will. When you bury me, you should all live long. When you bury me, put the Munkatcher passport in my hand. Put the holiest Rebbe, his passport in my hand. As if the Rebbe's passport opened gates in this world. Who knows how many gates it'll open for me in the world to come. You know, my beautiful friends, you think there are only borders between nations? There are borders between us and God, borders between one human being and the other. So many borders between husband and wife, between parents and children. You know why there's no peace in the world? Because the world needs the Munkatcher Passport. I want you to know the Torah is so holy. We celebrate Shavuos, we celebrate Yom Kippur. But you know what I need? I need a passport. So on Simos Torah, take out the Torah. I'm not reading it. It's just blank. On Simos Torah, God gives me the Munkatcher Passport. Have you ever danced Simos Torah? Have you ever noticed people who dance? There's no borders between them. No borders between them and their children. No borders between rich and poor. You know, when people get married, the beginning of the ceremony is the groom puts the veil over the eyes of his beautiful bride. You know what he's giving her? A Munkatcher Passport. A Munkatcher Passport. You know what the Holy Bride is doing? She walks around the groom 7 times. You don't see anything. It's a Munkatcher Passport. It's the Munkatcher Passport. Children, when they're born, they keep their eyes closed. You know what they're giving their parents? A Munkatcher Passport. Friends, I bless you and me. All the husbands, all the wives, all the children, all the fathers, all the mothers, all the nations. A Munkatcher Passport. But you know where they're giving out those passports? The headquarters. Yerushalayim. Have you ever stood by the holy wall? Did you ever pray? What do you take with you between you and God? The Munkatcher Passport. You know, friends, the Gemara, the first page, it's not even there. Begins, it's page 2. Where's the first page? It's a Munkatcher Passport. You cannot learn Torah until God gives you the passport. La 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 la.